friends, it's Deanna here, and today we're working on the Cape Cod swimsuit, and we are so excited. I am so excited. I hope you're excited as well. But before I get started, let me remind you about our fun fan giveaway that we're doing monthly. It's where we give $50 Ellie and Mac gift certificate for one of our subscribers. And all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and comment below and let me know. And let me know you're subscribed, or just drop a comment below. Make sure you're subscribed though, and we will be picking a winner randomly each month, so you could have a big chance to win. So let's go ahead and get started. And yes, I'm excited. I already cut out my pattern, so it's really cute. It's like this polka dot pattern, so I'm excited. So now we're gonna go ahead and get started. I have my back and I'm placing it wrong side up, and I'm putting my swim liner right on top of it. And so there's wrong sides together. And now I'm going to grab my elastic, my back elastic, and I'm going to find the back of my elastic, and I'm going to pin it. See, that's my back, and I'm going to find the back of my fabric too. But for my fabric, if you've seen any of my videos, you know I like to notch instead of just pinning, because I know my pin can just fly out. So I like to do a little notch in the middle. So that's what I did. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place that middle right on it to the wrong side of, to the right side of the liner. So it's pinned to the liner. Okay, this is the outside of the liner, and the liner and the outer of the back bottom is going to be wrong sides together. I'm going to stretch it out a little bit and go to the one side. And now I'm going to stretch it out a little bit on the other side. And then I'm going to sew it on with a zigzag stitch, or your preferred stretch stitch method. So I'm just going to pull a little bit as I'm sewing it on, okay? And make sure it's catching all three fabrics. All three of them. Well, I said fabrics, but really that is a pin. So make sure it's catching the pin. Alright. Here we go. My sewing machine is not cooperating at the moment because it's getting snatched on, there we go. Snatched on my other little thread. Alright, so I'm lightly pulling and making sure that they're all together, all three, the liner, the outer, and the elastic. Okay, so now that I've put it on, I'm going to fold down. So I'm going to grab it and I'm going to fold it down so that you can't you're tucking in that elastic under your fabric. So I'm just folding it down, kind of the width of the length width of the elastic. So you just gotta pull it just a tiny little bit, and you're folding it down and pin. I know it wants to come at you because the elastic is trying to fold back and come and hit you in the face. But that's okay. You tell who's boss. So now I folded it down and it's pinned. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually do it on my cover stitch. I'm going to fold it down and I'm going to stitch that. But you could do it with any stretch stitch right here on the top. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that real quickly. If you don't have a cover stitch, really any stretch stitch will work on your sewing machine. I just like the cover stitch because I feel like it gives it a finished look. Almost there. As I'm doing this, I'm stretching a tiny little bit so that it gets cut, but it is stretching. So that is on. You can see it has the little stretch. I'm gonna use my steam. Make sure that you are not burning your suit as you're doing this. And I'm gonna clip those strings at the end. Now I'm gonna put this guy aside and I'm going to work on my front. So I've got my top and it's gonna be face up, and I've got my liner. I'm gonna face it right down, right on top of it. So right sides together. And I am going to pin all these little crowns. It looks like a crown to me. Go ahead and get my pins. And now let me tell you this. When you're sewing this one, you want to make sure you use a lot of pins or a lot of clips, because fabric tends to kind of move around. So you want to make sure that you're catching it all. And all we're going to sew is around the edge, all the way up, and then not at the top. We're not going to sew that top seam. So then we're going to come around and up, not that top seam, around and up. So I'm going to put a lot of pins right here. And I am going to use, you can use your serger if you'd like, but I am just gonna do a stretch stitch on my sewing machine because that to me is easier to control than the serger. That serger knife can be deadly. So I am not going to play with the serger knife today. I am just using my sewing machine today. If you're brave and you wanna go for it, please be my guest. I am a chicken sometimes, and when it comes to this swim, I'll stick with my sewing machine for now. Even though I am a serger girl, I really love my serger, but I am sticking to my sewing machine. All right, let me go ahead and pin all this, and then I'm gonna go find my sewing machine and sew these around. Again, what I'm doing is I'm sewing all the way around, starting at the armpit area. I'm going up and around, and then I'm leaving that top open. I'm going around, leaving that top open, around again, leaving that top open, and then around again, leaving that top open, and then I'm coming down the side, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and do that with a zigzag stitch, and if I survive, I'll see you in a little bit as we continue with our suit. Hey. Honestly, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It was a little bit stressful at times, but if you take it slowly, then it really wasn't that bad. I was a little bit afraid. Honestly, I was, but it wasn't. You just take it slowly and you do one little thing at a time, and you will be just fine. So now I'm turning those pins over. It's so funny. It's like a little crown, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and very carefully, like I said, you have to make sure that you're not going to burn your suit. So you're doing it very carefully. If you need to test your suit out first before you do it, I'm doing it with lots of steam so that you don't end up burning your suit. Oops. Way. This is gonna be so cute. All right, so now that it's turned, I'm gonna turn it backwards, and I am going to grab those tops that I made, and I'm gonna fold them down 1/4 inch, and I am going to edge stitch these pins down to make a little casing for when I do my strap. It's gonna go right through it. Sorry, I'm cutting all these strings that are hanging out. Oh, they'll bother me. Okay, so folding them down, I'm going to edge stitch right there, and making a little casing. It's actually 1/2 inch. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's 1/2 inch. I don't know why I said 1/4 inch. Pretty sure I did 1/2 inch on these. Sorry. I hope you weren't in the middle of doing 1/4 inch. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Yes, 1/2 inch. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and edge stitch right at the edge of that to close that casing. Okay. My needle would cooperate. You know, sometimes a project could be so easy and then your sewing machine throws a fit and everything is just not as easy as it should be. Oh, this is not the case with this one. I'm just saying sometimes. Almost done. Oh. Okay, so I'm edge stitching. Oh. My pin came off and my suit went down. There we go. One more. Almost there. Probably sounds awful coming from the back because I'm trying to get this not to fall off. Come on. So now that it's folded down, I'm going to go ahead and cut all these little threads. And I should have done that with red because now I can see the little white threads everywhere. But once it's got the little strap and they're all gathered together, it will be just fine. I'm just cutting all the little threads. Make sure that you go back and forth on it so it doesn't come apart when you're sewing it together. Go back and forth over those where you start and where you end. All right, so now that that's done, oh, it would be really cute like that too. All right, so there they are. Now that that's done, we're gonna go ahead and put our back and front together. And we're gonna move the liners out of the way. And we're gonna meet the crotch at the center. And we're gonna go all the way out. So we're just gonna go ahead and pin that crotch. And I am going to serge that on. That I am. So the liner, the outer first, we're gonna go ahead and sew the liner, the outer together. So let me go ahead and serge that on, and then we'll move on and do the liner. All right, so now that my crotch is sewn, I'm gonna open it up, right side up, and I'm bringing this one, the liner down, and then I'm bringing the liner front down, and I'm putting right sides together. So I folded this one kind of up so that the right side's sticking up, and now the right side of my crotch, I'm going to pin them together and do the same thing. And I guess that didn't take very long, so I'm just gonna do it with you on camera. And then we'll move on to the next step. As I said that this will probably take forever. No, it won't. I'm
just sewing it on. Make sure that both of the top and the outer, I mean not the top and the outer, making sure that the top, front and back, both pieces are in. There we go. There it is. Now I am going to go ahead and open it. Right sides together. Ah! Sorry. I mean wrong sides together. What am I talking about? Right sides together. Wrong sides together. Open it all the way up. And we're going to pin it. We're going to pin from the leg, from the back, all the way up, all the way to the side. So we're gonna sew all that edge. So I'm going to pin it and sew it. All right, well, let me go ahead and finish pinning. I'm gonna pin on this side and I'm gonna pin it on this side as well. And then we're gonna go ahead and sew it together with your preferred stretch stitch. And then we'll move on to the next step. So we're sewing all the way down and around, all the way down to the armpit area, okay? So let me do that and then we'll move on. All right, I'm done, and I did just a zigzag stitch because I didn't want the extra bulk. Because now what we're going to do is, now that it's all sewn together, I'm gonna flip it right sides together, and I'm going to pin those sides, and I'm gonna sew those sides together. And this one I'm going to serge, but it's up to you. You can still do a stretch stitch, that's fine, but I'm just gonna serge because I wanna have a clean serge line right there. I'm doing the same for both sides, this side and this side. Okay. And actually, let me tell you this, if you wanted to, you could do the sides, you could just baste them on, just the two sides. When I did the stretch stitch, you could have just basted them on because you're gonna sew them together. So that would have been fine too, as well. And I'm just gonna serge them, and since it's just the two little sides, I'm just gonna, hope you don't mind, I'm just gonna do it together right here. Other side, and when I'm done doing this, I'm going to later go in and reinforce the top and the bottom, and how I'm going to tell you how to do that in a minute. I go in and fold these down. And with my serger, with my zigzag stitch, I just go in and fold these down. And with a zigzag stitch, I just go over them to keep them down. And to make sure that they're not gonna come off. So I go back and forth with a zigzag stitch. I'm gonna do that on both sides. So that way it won't, the thread won't come off. That probably wouldn't happen to you, but it would happen to me. All right, so now that that's on, I'm gonna clip all these little clippings off. And our suit is basically done. How cute is this thing? Look at that. I'll just need to do the strap to put on, and we gotta do our leg elastics. And we're done. How cute is this thing? So stinking cute. All right, so here's my leg elastics, and I'm going to overlap them 1/4 of an inch and zigzag stitch them together. Okay, and now we're gonna go ahead and quarter this, and again, I'm not going to make a snip snap on the elastic, so I'm just going to pin a half and meet the front and back, my halves, and that's are gonna be my quarters to the sides. Here we go. Here we go. So now that this is quartered, I'm gonna do the same thing to my leg. I have my two sides. I'm gonna meet those two together and go to the sides, and I do like to do a little snip snap to mark those quarters. If you don't like to snip, you can just do your pin, and that would be just fine. And now we're gonna attach these to the inside of our legs. And how we're gonna attach that is, so anyway, you've gotta pin it where you mark those quarters. That will be an even stretch. Even Steven. But anyway, yes, I'm gonna do a zigzag stitch to sew it on. Zigzag or any kind of stretch stitch.
Just like that on the inside. Then we're gonna stretch stitch it to the inside of our leg, okay? And I am going to do that, and I'm gonna do the same to the other one, and then I'll come back to go do the end. We'll be done. We'll do the strap, and we'll be done. But I'm running out of thread, so I gotta switch that and do that. I'm gonna sew it on first. Just stretch stitch this right on. All right, so I zigzagged it on. There it is. So now that I zigzagged it on, we're gonna go ahead and flip it down, flip that elastic down and pin it, and then we're gonna sew it on. So it's flipped in, and you won't even be able to see it. And we're almost done. I can taste it. Tastes like salt summer air, salty summer air, right? No? Does it taste like that to you? Let me know. Tell me in the comments what you think summer tastes like. Summer is like salty to me, but like good salty. Like these fries are salted just perfectly salty. Yeah. Okay, so now that I flipped it on there, I'm actually gonna use my cover stitch, and I'm going to do cover stitch, top stitch it all the way around. You can do a zigzag stitch, some kind of stretch, your preferred stretch stitch method, double needle, it really is up to you. So let me go ahead and do that. I already did the other one, so let me do this one real quickly while you're there. Don't go anywhere. Actually, you can. Go get a cup of coffee while I am finishing this one leg, or if you're doing it with me, let's do it together. Tell me what you like to see. Do you like me doing everything on camera? Or do you like it when I take the little breaks and go do it and then come back? Sometimes I think that's easier. You can kind of pause it for a minute if you need some extra time. Let me know. Comment below and let me know what you think. What is best? What works best for you? I don't always know what is best. As much as you might think that I always know everything. No, I don't. I don't know anything. I barely know how to speak. All right, so now that's on. I am getting so excited because it's looking so stinking cute. My iron turned off, so there's no good for that. But look, the bottoms are done. So now all we need to do is our strap. Look at this. Oh my gosh, that is so stinking sweet. I'm grabbing this strap. I'm folding it wrong sides together, and I'm going to sew it together wrong sides together. I don't usually wear lipstick, but I got this stain, and I wanted to try it. I got it in the mail, and I wanted to try it to see what it would be like. I don't usually wear lipstick because I feel like it dries out my lips, so I don't really like it. But I kind of like how this looks. What do you think? Tell me what you think. My son saw it. He's like, why are you wearing lipstick? And he just smiled. But he said it with like a weird voice, and then he smiled. And I said, do you like it? He's like, no. But you know why he doesn't like it? Because I give him kisses, and then he's got lipstick kisses all over his face. But this is a stain. So it's not supposed to stain at all. We'll see. I'm gonna trick him. I'm gonna give him kisses everywhere and he's gonna think he's full of lipstick and he won't be, and that'll be so funny.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. To me, it would be. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and sew that casing, that shut, that strap. The strap. And I'm serging it together. See, I didn't even ask you if you wanted to stick around or if you wanted to go and come back. I never know how much you want to see of me. Alright, so now that it is all the way sewn up, I have this handy dandy tool that helps me turn these things around. But if you don't have one, you can use a safety pin or whatever. But this tool really works really nicely. It just slides right out. If you do it right. If you don't start showing off to everybody and then it ends up not working. There we go. Strap is out. And now we're gonna go ahead and tuck that strap through these little gaps that you made. I'm gonna use this little guy, handy dandy guide here too. Stick it through. Ah, we got it caught on something. Here we go, let's try it again. You're supposed to close it and I never close it. It helps when I do it right. Okay, there's one. We're going over through the other one. Come on. It's like, it has like a sharp little stick, so like it gets, when it gets cut, it doesn't work. All right, here we go through the third one. Come on. And number 4, last but not least. There it is. Oh my gosh. This is so stinking cute. Go all the way down. Now I just need to trim because I've got all these little pieces of thread that I didn't trim earlier. I gotta trim all those. And I am just going to, you can either sew this down. I am going to make it a knot so it doesn't come throughout. It doesn't come throughout. So it doesn't come out. I'm just making a cool knot. And then if you want to, you can sew that end shut. You can just make the knots, or you can even sew those knots. And we are done. How cute is this little suit? I mean, if I could wear it, I so would. It doesn't fit me. It wouldn't fit all my stuff in there. I mean, I don't have much goodies, but whatever I have would not fit in this. It is so cute. Let me know what you think. Show me yours. If you finished yours, you can post it on our Facebook or our Instagram page. I'd love to see it. Let me know if you have any questions about anything I did. I know it can be, swim is a little bit tricky, but it really isn't. It's just the fabric is a little bit flimsy, but if you pin a lot, then you should be good. And if you have problems with anything, you go ahead and you can base stitch beforehand, and that helps a lot because then you can just pull that right out when you're done. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye.